Here we have the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So here we're going to be looking at the 1 hour time frame. Every candle on this time frame represents a 1 hour trading period. And as we can see here, we're starting to see a bit of a bounce following this support zone that we were expecting to develop right around the 760 mark. No chart lines have been changed on this chart display here from the prior video. And what we're starting to see here is that the 760 zone really did work as a fairly strong level of support here for the stock. This was largely based on the fact that this was a 50% Fibonacci retracement, as well as a 200-hour exponential moving average bounce that was seen right near 760. And what we're starting to see here is the development, of a series of higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frames. So currently, what we're looking for would be the possibility that share prices can sort of, develop this resistance zone right around $7.90, break through here forcefully, which is what did happen previously, and then sort of retest that area from the top and then bounce from there again. So that really is what we're looking for at the moment. So far, we can see that this is starting to develop here, and there are kind of several reasons to believe that this would be the most likely outcome for share prices. So, specifically what we're looking at here, again, is the 1 hour time frame. So these are all the hourly moving averages. Currently, what we're seeing here is a bit of a bounce off of the, we can zoom in here a bit. We're seeing a bit of a bounce here off of the 20-hour and 50-hour EMAs, and that comes alongside this retest of the prior resistance zone, which came in at $7.90. So, this is working forward in a very orderly manner at the moment. And really, kind of the last piece of the puzzle here would be to see a break above that $8.10 resistance level that we have been seeing previously. So currently, markets are trading below the $8 mark. I understand a lot of people really like to focus on these psychological numbers, but for me, that really isn't the important level at the moment. I mean, I would really be looking at this 790 area as being more significant. So if we did see a share price break below 790, then I do think that you could start to see some pressure taken off of the top side, a bit of a retracement or a pullback at that point. But as long as that area remains intact, then I think that we can start to see a break above this 810 area. From there, you would be retargeting that prior resistance zone from the September 18 trading session, which would be that 852 area. And what's interesting here is, all this activity here, all we're trying to do here is recover the losses that came after the Federal Reserve interest rate decision. So, we're still basically trading underwater for this entire period of time here. And I do think that share prices move higher from here, but it's just sort of interesting to see how all of this unfolds because this really was a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, and we still haven't really recovered that prior price high. Like we still haven't even managed to retest that prior high at 852. So this has been a fairly sustained price movement to the downside, even though, on paper, it might seem that, the intuitive kind of response here might be like, well, okay, it's an interest rate cut. This is a finance company. They should benefit. They should see share prices move higher. But, in my view, you would have needed to have seen at least 75 basis point rate cut in order to surprise the market and give the market some new information to trade off of. We can't just simply all be waiting for the same type of event to occur and then just continue buying the stock because we were already expecting that to happen. So, it's just interesting here that all of this negative price movement here is still occurring, even though there was this quote unquote positive event. And it was a positive event. I mean, it will help the stock. But the market reaction isn't necessarily positive, and I think that is a good lesson so for people to understand that positive events don't always get a positive response. There can be a disconnect there, and that is why technical analysis is helpful because on paper that was a fundamental event that should have helped the stock, and it obviously didn't happen. So, currently I would still be looking at this level to the downside coming in at $7.60 as sort of the kind of line in the sand for the bullish perspective. I mean, I do think that we would probably see a bit of a deeper retracement at that point if share prices did lose that support zone. You have a little bit of support that can be found at this 61.8% Fibonacci retracement zone, but I really don't see much else in this area supporting that region. So, the 618 is a very important Fibonacci retracement area, but generally I like to see a confluence of events. I like to see more than one, technical signal developing in the same area before I start to believe that it's going to be, a strong area to trade from. Overall, the trading volumes here have been more positive than negative, so that is also kind of supporting prices at the moment. And then if we look at the indicator reading just quickly here to close out the video, overall, we can see that the trajectory here is still positive. This is a momentum signal that has been in place ever since we reached those prior lows at 601. So this is a a trend movement here, a momentum trend that has been in place for quite a while now. This is a very significant trend movement here, and we're currently trading very far away from that area. So I wouldn't say that this momentum trend is in any danger of being broken anytime soon. To the top side, we are mostly, we're closer to the top side than to the downside. I mean, the indicator reading, the relative strength index currently comes in right around 5660. So, that is a bit more, elevated than it would be if we were seeing, a different type of reading or something. But what this really does suggest is that share prices do have a fair amount of room here to extend to the top side before we start to become overbought. So I wouldn't really be concerned about, the stock sort of topping out here anytime soon. Um, as we can see, the stock has a tendency to become fairly overbought when it does become overbought. So I do think that you've probably got a fair amount of price movement here to the top side before we have to start to worry about any significant, overextension in the bullish direction. So these are some of the price levels that I'm watching, and these are the overall trend readings that I'll be watching here going forward. This is the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.